I bring you midwinter greetings from my office here at Bethlehem. It's January 31. It's snowy and cold outside, and as we move into February, I wanted to let you know a little bit of what is to come for our congregation as we explore and celebrate Black History Month together. The worship committee was talking late last fall about what we might do to broaden our awareness of the diversity of Christian tradition, and to learn more about the worshiping voices of those who are from traditions beyond our own. Bethlehem is an undeniably white European congregation in terms of our worship style. That's nothing to be ashamed of. It's something to celebrate. We love it well, we do it well, and that's not about to change. We love Catherine Winkworth and J.S. Bach and Paul Gerhardt and Susan Sherwin, and all of that is here to stay. But what could we do to be the worshiping church? Our voice is only one of many voices all around the globe and throughout time. And I think our worship is only richer when it can include voices that are beyond our own. So for me, as a church musician, that has always meant I want to be careful to choose music, choose styles that draw from a diverse chronology. So we sing ancient chant, and we sing things from many different centuries, and especially in terms of texts. But we also sing things that are new. I also am careful to incorporate music that reflects the voice of ethnically and geographically diverse Christian tradition. We are a global and a cosmic religion, a cosmic faith, and our worship is the truest when it expresses that. So here in America, here in the 21st century, here in Indianapolis, one of the most important voices of Christian worship is the Black church. And we who identify as the white church need to maybe disciple ourselves some to our Black brothers and sisters who sing and who pray and who preach a faith and a devotion and a hope that is marked by strength, by joy, by struggle. All of this you find in Black worship tradition in a way that's incredibly powerful and different from our own voice. I would like us to expose ourselves to that to some extent this month. We cannot appropriate that tradition and perform it ourselves. Our worship is not going to look like the worship at Phillips Temple or at Salem ELCA, and that is okay. And I don't think it would be appropriate if we tried to put that on and to say that, look, we can do this too. But we can learn, and we can become aware of some of their music and learn to do it ourselves to a degree. So I have a few things planned for us, and I wanted to tell you about that. Throughout the month of February, we'll be using setting 6 of the Lutheran liturgy, found in the Evangelical Lutheran Worship hymnal that we use. We've used it a few times before, but we're not terribly familiar with it. We did use it last February one Sunday, and I got many positive comments in response. I love the setting. That's partly because I love a chance to play the piano instead of the organ. It's also because before coming to Bethlehem, I worshiped at a sister congregation of the ELCA, and my children were very, very small. And when we would use setting 6, my kids and I would just almost dance as we sang Glory to God. The setting is in the gospel style, and it has been contributed to by a number of musicians and composers, including Pastor James Capers, who is an ELCA pastor in our synod. He's here in Indianapolis and currently serves at Salem, our sister congregation. So we have a pretty close personal connection to this setting of the liturgy. It sings well. So I hope that you will take the opportunity to learn a new setting. We will use it occasionally in the time to come at Bethlehem, but we'll be using it all throughout February. So especially if you have children, this one is fun to sing. So I hope you will really sing it with joy and with passion. I have two very dear friends named Marcus and Jessica. Marcus and Jessica Simmons, I met them through the Jacobs School of Music at IU while Marcus was working on his doctorate in vocal performance. They don't live locally anymore. They moved recently to Minneapolis, where he is on faculty at Bethel University. They're in Minneapolis. Marcus and Jessica are expecting their first baby, a daughter, any day now. And I called them up a couple weeks ago and said, I think I need your help. I had talked to Marcus a year ago about what we might do as a church to faithfully celebrate and enjoy the cultural traditions that come to the church through Black worship and Black tradition. And he had given me a lot of good ideas back then. And as I was thinking about what I wanted for our worship this February, of course, what I want for our worship is for all of us to be in the sanctuary and the gathered voice of the church. But that's not going to happen yet. We are still in the middle of a pandemic that has caused us a lot of complications, but it's also kind of expanded our opportunities and our horizons. So I called Marcus and Jessica a few weeks ago and I said, how about if you lead us in worship? You can record for us, and that can be what we sing with. So you'll be getting to know at least the faces and the voices of Marcus and Jessica Simmons over the next few weeks. Most of our worship in the throughout February will include at least one song that's been pre-recorded by Marcus and Jessica. Their intention is to sing it in a way that invites you in to join in singing. So it's not so much a solo or an anthem as they're leading the opening hymn, or they're leading the hymn of the day. So I invite you to sing along with them. These are hymns, whether they're traditional African American spirituals or they're hymns that come from the gospel tradition that are written by Black hymn writers. So there will be some diversity, but you'll see Marcus and Jessica's faces. Marcus is a great pianist as well. And I'm really looking forward to having them join us in our worship in this unique way that is really facilitated by the trouble that we're in this pandemic. Another thing you can expect is a peek into the life of at least one, sometimes more than one, hymn writer or hymnologist or musician from the African American church, people in the last few generations who have brought their own voice to Christian hymnody. So I will make sure that there's some biographical information included in our content each week, so that you know not just so that you don't just have an opportunity to sing these hymns, but you know a little bit about where they come from and some of the really influential work that's been done by a few of these folks. Last but not least, we finish February with a very special treat. February 28 in the afternoon, Bethlehem is going to be hosting a recital. The recital is being given by Marcus Simmons. So you'll see him in our worship, but then he's going to sing for us. He has diverted some of his pandemic energy over the last year into programming a recital as a vocalist that, let me see if I can get the title right, Might and Right, I Too Am America. And so Marcus was chatting with me about some of the shape that he's given this program as it gives voice to his own experience of being a Black man, of now looking forward to being a father in our society right now. And there's a lot of really wonderful music on that program. So mark your calendars and make sure you've got the afternoon of Sunday, February 28 free. It's also a beautiful way for us to transition deeper and deeper into the season of Lent, as so much of this music captures the struggle and the pilgrimage of the Christian faith, which is our theme for Lent. So Marcus will be giving a recital. He's pre-recording it with his pianist in Minneapolis, and Bethlehem will be his host, and so we'll premiere that video. I think there should be an opportunity to hear from him a little bit beforehand about the concepts behind the recital, and also perhaps a meet and greet over Zoom or something after the recital. So after having them join us for worship throughout the month, hopefully you'll get to meet them in person over Zoom, and maybe even meet their new baby daughter, who should be with them by then. I hope that our worship this month, outside of our usual voice, serves to bring us a greater sense of who we are as part of the church. The breadth and the scope of the church's voice is so far beyond our own American, European, Lutheran voice that we love so much, and we will be richer if we know more than we do now about the brothers and sisters that we worship alongside here in this town and in America and across the globe.